Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Faisal. Today I want to talk about empty mind, happy life. When you have an empty mind, you have a happy life. Now, for most people, happiness is some type of explosion that comes with things, people, events, achievements that the outside world can promise. Happiness is something that the outside world promises you. But that's not the truth. Happiness is much more subtle. It's related to your being, your presence, and it comes when you're mindful. It's so subtle. It's not some big explosion. It's something subtle that is related to your being. What does it mean to have an empty mind? Well, it just means this. It's the opposite of having a cluttered mind, a mind that's full of thoughts and ideas and desires and wishes and dreams and fantasies and projections, expectations, anticipations, things like that. An empty mind simply means being free of thought, being free from desire. And when you have an empty mind, you have a happy life. The emptiness I'm talking about is not emptiness of feeling incomplete, lonely, and incomplete, unfulfilled. That's not the emptiness that I'm talking about. The emptiness that I'm talking about is being emptied of all wants, being emptied of all wishes, desires, thoughts. Because all thoughts come and go, but they appear because there's some type of desire where you are emotionally attached to the outside world. You want something from the world. And so when you want something from the world, you automatically have thoughts that bind you to the world. And the more you give your attention and awareness to these thoughts, the more it grows and grows, and the more similar thoughts come and dictate your existence, how you feel. You become emotionally attached to whatever desire it is, to whatever thought it is, to whatever feeling. So an empty mind gives you a happy life. The reason there's so many problems in the world is because of this. People have a compulsion to desire. They desire compulsively. And because they desire compulsively, they think compulsively. And when they think compulsively, they act and react compulsively. So these three things come together: desire, thought, and action, reaction. Once you have a desire, you automatically have thoughts and you automatically react in a certain way. Whether it's in a selfish way or in a selfless way. But most of the desires that we have are selfish. And so we are desiring compulsively, thinking compulsively all the time, and reacting compulsively all the time. And that's why we have so many problems in the world. Now, you can see that these things are not just on a collective, external level, but also on an individual level, personal level, internal level. The solution is to have an empty mind, and with an empty mind, you'll have a happy life. If your mind is always cluttered, you always have wants, you're always trying to manipulate circumstances, situations, you're always trying to control things, you always want things to go your way, you're always having thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. Unconsciously, you might not even realize that you are having thoughts all the time, or you're having desires, because they just seem to happen to you. But there's a deeper intent where you are wanting something from the world. So the start of having an empty mind and a happy life is to give up your desires, your wants. They're so subtle too. They're as subtle, almost as subtle as the happiness of life. And you have to be aware of what are your constant wants. They can be so simple, subtle, stupid, or big and excessive. But it's up to you to decide how far you want to take this practice. And once you practice this faithfully, the fruits, how do you know that you're doing it right? How do you know that you have an empty mind and you're living a happy life? You have a great peace. You have great peace. You have natural joy, and your relationships are harmonized. Your life is lived in harmony. These are indications that you have an empty mind and a happy life. When you have a cluttered mind, you're filled with wants, desires, expectations. You're always anxious, stressed, hurt, fearful, worrying, anticipating, projecting things, having fantasies, dreams, and whatever else that your mind does. We can make the decision to move from living in an unconscious way to living in a conscious way, in a mindful way. And that decision is to be made by you. Empty your mind of all wants. Empty your mind of all thoughts, all opinions, all beliefs. Empty your mind completely and be at peace. Be at peace with who you are. Be at peace and be happy. That's all I have to share today. Thank you.